Yo, it's the Big Show along with Big E. We are here at episode 90 fucking 9.
The great one.
Little Wayne Gretzky rip right here. That's what we're talking about right here. We're on the cusp of 100th episodes of the Show Thoughts podcast. Again, thank you all so much for all your love and support. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us so you can get updated on all of our shit. E, we had a little graduation party this weekend, bro.
We did, finally, as all of you have been following along. Our kid graduated. We finally had a fucking party.
Dude,
Um, we had
so
to
many
wait a little
people.
bit. We had to wait a little bit longer than the traditional, you know, kid graduates have a party. One, because Pittsburgh public schools don't fucking graduate until the middle of June. Two, for me to find a place, it, that was the best date that I could come up with. So we was a little mid-July there. So,
A
but
little mid July.
a
It
little
sure,
mid-July. Um,
it sure as fuck felt like July.
yeah, that was my only worry was the weather. Um, just because like we we were at she had a couple other friends' graduation parties. Uh, the first one we went to, it was in May. It was freezing cold and dry. I mean, it rained earlier that day, but it was dry the rest of the day. But it was cold out, as a lot of you may like. May was just freezing,
Yeah.
and then we went to another graduation party. This one was indoors, and it stormed the whole. Thank God it was indoors. It stormed the whole day.
Yeah.
Um, and then her best friend's was a week or 2 weeks ago, and it was warm. Like it was outside. It was a little warm. There was a little bit of rain, like a little shower. Um, but it was just not comfortable. So I was worried for ours. Like I'm like, we're getting to that time of the year where the temp could really fuck us over. And boy, you know what? And that's the thing. Like I was telling Donna, like it wasn't even so much that we had super heat. Like it was only in the 80s, but that humidity wall, bro, just was thick.
Yeah, it was bad. It seemed like it could not leave that ground floor. It would
No,
not leave that floor.
could you? I'm so glad that we had the upper floor and that patio and everybody for because if we didn't, dude, we'd had people melting. I don't, like there would have been some heat stroke.
Yeah, honest to God, I'm shocked. Like when I left there, I remember I looked over at Brandy and I was like, I sweat two fucking shirts out today for this fucking party.
Yeah,
Well, I was like, I'm fucking dying, literally dying today. But
yeah,
like,
it was hot. Like it, and again, it wasn't. I can't like I said. I say hot, but it was like it wasn't the heat itself. It was just that humidity made it just thick and
oh
sticky
man,
and
gross. And then the crazy part was it was so stagnant on the bottom floor.
yeah,
But if you like walked out, I mean, then the rain would come and go, but not like atrocious rain,
yeah,
like little hits and stuff like that. And then if you went upstairs, it was like, man, it's like 15, 20 degrees colder up here. And then
yeah,
it's like, but you have like the door open downstairs, the door open by where you're cooking and stuff. And then, but if you went outside, you felt it. Like it
yeah.
would not go in there. So I'm
Mm-mm.
like, I don't know.
Yeah, and we had fans running. We were smart, and I took some fans from home, some oscillating fans and whatnot, to try and get some air circulating in there. But whoever designed that fucking place, there was no outlets by the windows to put a fan in a window to draw some air in.
Right?
So it's like we just had that stale air being pushed around, but it
Yeah.
was like trying to get a some type of a movement.
Well, the worst
I
is
mean,
when you were like, you said, "Hey, where's the where's the plugs at?" I was like, "Only on that wall." Like,
yeah,
and they were so blended in.
they
You were like,
painted
"How
over
many
them and
fucking
matched the
times?"
wall.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots. Like so. So that was the only like. I mean, I kept like I don't say apologize. I was like, oh, as I made my rounds and mingled. I'm like, oh, thanks for coming. Sorry the heat. And they're like, oh no, it's good, whatever. I mean, everybody that I talked to post party said that they had a really good time. Um, you know, for some people, there was a lot of kind of surprise guests. Like I was hoping that it went that way. Like obviously, number one for my daughter, she didn't know. We hid it from her that there was two special guests coming. One being my sister, uh, came home from Missouri, her and her husband, and surprised her. Um, and then two being our, friend, one of her other uncles, Mark and Nikki and the kids came up from Carolina. It just worked out that they were up north in this direction.
Yeah.
So that was a surprise, but it also was, it was nice. Like, for like you don't get to, like, I see Mark probably the most out of everybody just because we're married into the same family. So when
Yeah.
there's family functions like weddings and things of that nature, I get to see them, but the rest of you guys really don't. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't make it up here that often.
Yeah.
So I think it was nice just for other people, you know what I mean, to
Yeah.
get to hang out that normally don't. I know Jen and Craig, like I've been talking to Jen this week, and like she was like really happy, and excited. Like she was like, they had a really good time, and glad we invited them. And it was like, yeah, like and I told you too, like, you know, like I don't have a ton of family. You know what I mean? Like it's just my mom, my sisters, a few cousins, an aunt and uncle. So like my side like is small when we have these party things now. My wife's family, and she's multiple times, like they're huge. They came from Ohio, West Virginia, the whole work. They was coming from everywhere,
There was every
and
fucking where.
and And so for me, you guys are my family. You know what I mean? And Jane knows that and looks at everybody that way. So like, and I invited people that show interest in my daughter, like Jen and Craig. Anytime we see them, how's Jane, how's the kid? How, you know what I mean? Like, they do it with you and Xander. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they treat them just like they treat us. So those are the people that I was like, I want them to come celebrate and also just be fun for all of us to get together because we don't get to do it that
Yeah.
often. You
Oh
know what I
yeah.
mean? We might do it in small groups or small spurts, but not like these parties can bring to everybody together. So yeah, so everything went well. My kid had fun. She was a little bummed out. She had some school friends that didn't make it that said they were gonna, so she really didn't have like a ton of friends there. But again, she had the other surprises that I think kept her
Kind of
mind
kept
off
it
of it.
balanced. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, food. Everybody said the food was good. Food worked out great. You know, it was just. I'm still eating cupcakes. Um,
I'm still eating salad.
so are we. So are we.
So Michelle, shout out Michelle. Thanks for the salad.
Yeah,
I've been living off fucking salad since the
bro.
last
Then
podcast.
I went back to work, and the two of the administrative ladies that are on my floor, they must have had like some kind of function over the weekend because they're like friends outside of work or something. And so they had some type of get together, and they had a ton of food left over, so they brought it into work to to share with them. I came home with another giant bag of salad.
Dude, it was the best because like Michelle was like, "Hey, anybody want a 5 pound bag of salad?" I was like, "I do." And then when
Yeah,
she pulled it out, I was like, fuck. I was like,
yeah,
all right. I mean, I think I can deal with this. And then she's like, you want some grape tomatoes too? I was like, wait, what? And she's
yeah.
like, yeah.
The lady at work said she was like, yeah. She's like, do you want some grapes? And I'm thinking same thing. I'm like, grape tomatoes. I'm like, yeah. I don't eat tomatoes, but the girls will eat them with salad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
bro. She actually handed me a bag of fucking grapes. I was like, I mean, I'll take those. I guess.
I mean, hey,
Um, yeah.
when in
So I mean,
Rome.
everything seemed to have worked out. Like I said, People I talked to this week, in the past couple of days that were there, were like, again, everybody was happy to see everyone, had a good time. We all had the same agreement that the heat sucked, but we all got through it. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like nobody died. So party, I guess, success.
I'd say so. And then like when I got home,
Yeah,
I
because you
looked
had
at
to
my
drive too afterwards.
watch and I was like, I've been away from my house for fucking since almost noon. And I was
Yeah,
like, I can only imagine how Eric feels. And then ironically, you text me, we're home, and
yeah,
I was like, oh, word. Like you
yeah.
literally walked in the door after I did, or text me when you did.
Yeah, we were. I don't even know what time we got up that day. Sunday. We left our house at 11. Like we packed the car and we're out the door at 11. At the place at 12ish, maybe a little before. Then you guys showed up. Yeah, just a few minutes after us, and we left there at 9:30. So it was a long day. It was. Yeah, my back is still fucked up. Like something in my spine, like one of my discs in my spine shifted, and it's not pinching, knock on wood,
Yeah.
but it's just, I can feel it. And Donna's like, yeah, you got a lump there. And I'm like, no, no shit. And then my lungs still haven't recuperated. So like at my left rib cage has like been hurting. If I take a deep breath, I'm like, oh yeah, this is fucking awesome.
I I literally told Brandy when we got in the car when we left. I looked at her and I was like, he's not okay.
No,
Something's
I
wrong.
wasn't. I got home. So I messaged you. Like we got home, we got the stuff out of the car, but we didn't like unpack. Whatever needed refrigerated got put back in the fridge. But everything else, I was like, fuck it. So we sat down, just took a breather, and Jane was opening like her presents and going through cards, all that fun stuff. And then we're just sitting here, and Donna was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I don't think so, but I don't know." And she was
Right.
like, "Okay." She was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Everything hurts, and I feel like I'm gonna shut down." And she was like, "Okay." She was like, "When's the last time you ate?" And I was like, "I didn't." She was like, "What do you mean you didn't?" I was like, "Well, that's a lie." She goes, "Okay, what did you eat?" And I said, "I had those 3 donuts this morning for breakfast." And she goes, "That was at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock this morning."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I had today." She goes, "You didn't eat at the party at all." And I was like, "I had like 3 slices of watermelon, and dude, I don't even think I had anything to drink.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, except for that energy drink that we bought when we
Yeah,
made
that's
the.
even worse.
So before we knew it, we're sitting here, and then my body started shutting down, and I started like shaking, like like twitching. Donna was like, "All right, you need food now," and her and Jane were like trying to find me like something to eat, and it just, yeah. So, and then I got up the next morning, took my car back to the shop because the fuckers broke it on Friday, but it's fixed now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know how that is.
I, I do. I do. Like I literally just got mine back. It's so funny. So they did replace the catalytic converter. And then I mentioned them something about the wheel bearing, but then I didn't say fix it because like I can fix it. Like I
Yeah,
just give it to me. So they tell me it's ready, and there then in their invoice there is like this long of an explanation as to why I shouldn't take this car. It was
yeah,
like this car is undrivable. When you hit over 9 miles like distance, it
yeah.
starts shaking very violently. I was like, what? I was like, okay. And then I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck do you think I got it here? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I got it back to the house, and I mean, it shook a little bit, but like it went. like subsided. And I was like, well, that's probably the last time it's going to happen anyway. So I pulled it up to the house, and right before we started the podcast, I was telling Eric like I am in the middle of actually doing my wheel bearing, and if I would have put any effort into it today, you folks wouldn't have got this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm at the wheel bearing. All I literally have to do is unplug a couple things, take it off, put the new one on. It says to like tighten to like torque wrenches and all that. To me, tight is tight. I don't have a
Yeah.
fucking torque wrench. I don't have the time. So like, if it's fucking tight and I can't move it, it's fucking tight.
Yeah.
But I have like some Loctite here, and I'm gonna put that on just to be safe. You know what I mean? Just to be precautious. And I should have that pretty much wrapped up. Honest to God, worst case scenario, I should have it done by Sunday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm pretty proud of myself. Like, I'm doing things like never thought in a million years I'd be doing,
Yeah.
especially mechanic wise. And like,
Mm.
I mean, I do reach out to like, I've been reaching out a little bit to my brother, and he's been like reciprocating it just to make sure like we're on the same wavelength, like what I'm doing. Because I mean, to be real, I I don't give a fuck. But like the wheel bearing's attached to my axle, so that's where I'm a little guarded.
Yeah.
Because if your axle goes, you're fucked. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I know. I had that happen, and that's the same thing. Like with so, like my car. I took off Friday to prep for the party, and I was like, all right, my car needs inspected. Perfect time. Let's get it in and out so that I'm cleared for the part for the weekend. Everything was fine. Well, obviously they had to take my tires off to check my brakes and rotors and shit for
Yep.
inspection. So I was like, hey, while you guys have them off, can you rotate them for me? Because that's the first that they've been off since I bought them. They're new tires at the beginning of the year. The guy's
Yep.
like, oh yeah, that's fine. We'll rotate them for you. Well, they rotated them and didn't balance them. So, like, I get it. You don't always need to balance rotations. Like, it should, but this was so obvious that the treads were worn, you know, that like I couldn't go over what I tell you, like 50. If I went over
Yeah.
50 miles an hour, my whole front end was shaking.
And
And I'm
then to
like,
be in the car with you, and
yeah,
when it did it, I was like, oh, that's it.
yeah. Like, so I, like you with like your brother, I talked to my brother-in-law at the party and I'm like, listen, I have an idea what's wrong. I just need you to confirm it because you're a mechanic. I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm like, if
Right.
if there's something wrong that I can fix on my own, let me know. I'll gladly do it.
That.
Or, but he was like, no, you got it. It needs balanced. You're gonna have to take it into a shop. So that's what I did Monday. I got it balanced. Evidently, Jiffy Lube now does balancing. I didn't know that shit.
That's a new one.
Yeah, they only charged me like $20 a tire.
Oh, that's not bad.
So the guy, he took it for a test run. He goes, "Can I? Do you mind if I take it for a test ride just so I know what I'm dealing with here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." He comes back. He goes, "Bro," I was like, "Bad, huh?" He was like, "Whew." He goes, "Let me get that in right now." He took it in, did his thing. Comes back. He goes, "All right, I'm gonna test run it, check it." And I'm like, "All right." He come back. He goes, "Smooth." I was like, "What I want to hear, my man." Paid him, walked out. So that was helpful. I mean, thankfully it wasn't like an expensive job.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they fuck it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was so mad. Like, and the thing was, is I was half tempted to take it back to the dealership. Like, fuck you. Like, like
Yeah.
I understand that you can't just. I mean, you're gonna have to chart. Like, hey, listen, your tires need balanced. At least bring it to my attention and ask me, like, hey, do you want us to balance them real quick? All right, what's the cost? Da da da. You know what I mean? Like, now, granted, the dealership probably would have charged me more than Jiffy Lube, but at least give me the
Absolutely.
option and let me know
Yes.
that it needs done. And they didn't say shit. So it's like I don't know. But it's fixed. Yours will
I
be
mean, it
fixed.
could be
It will
worse.
be all good.
You could sink $2,500 into a car,
Yeah, you're a lot more in on that
and then
game
you
than
like
I am.
you take it to work, and you're like, oh, why is this smoking?
Why does it look like I just hotboxed my cab?
Right, and for real. And then what's so crazy is you seen the video. It was
You
in
said
the
in the
cab.
video.
It was
I
in
was
the
like,
fucking cab.
is your car on fire? You're like, I don't know.
the Dude, the worst part is people are like, "Are they trying to kill you?" I was like, "I don't know, maybe." Fuck.
Yeah,
Like, to me, all I thought was fucking Robert De Niro in Casino when they fucking tried to blow up his car. I was like, "Dude, this is how I
outside
die."
the diner.
Yeah, this is how I fucking die. All right, but I mean, they fucked up. They fixed it, and now I have it
Yeah,
back. And this is like, I told everybody, this is my last project with the
yeah,
Jeep. But it's been a learning experience. Like the Jeep has taught me certain things, you know. And I mean,
yeah.
it's been a good resource for me to like learn things. But it's time for that eventually to go. Don't let her hear you though, because she'll fucking break down or something on me.
Uh, we 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 have a friend who has a family member that's having some car problems. And I was like, "Oh, what's wrong with it?" And they're like, "Oh, we think the starter's not working." I'm like, "I know a guy. He can put a starter in."
You know a guy. The best part is though is now I'm like if it's of course different models, different starters,
Yeah,
but like if you can see it,
yeah,
don't do it. Like
yeah.
yeah, it wasn't so bad, but then like of course my brother has to like pop my bubble. He's like they're not all that easy to see. I'm like man, fuck you,
No,
man. Let
no
me have
shit.
my moment in the sun.
Yeah, like I
Damn.
probably wouldn't be able because my what year's your mine's definitely newer model than
Oh yeah,
yours.
yours is newer for sure.
So it's like everything in them is so tight and compact. It's like I don't even know where I would begin to look for the starter on mine. Like,
I had to like thank God for the internet and
yeah,
YouTube. Like once they showed me where the starter was, I was like, oh, never would have knew that. Never would have
that's what I
known.
mean. Like I not this car, my Chevy Trax that I had before this. I had a sensor go bad, like my O2 sensor or something went bad.
Okay.
And again, like you, I checked with my brother-in-law, and he's like, yeah, he was like, it's not that difficult. He was like, it's actually cheaper if you do it yourself. But for me, like at least for you, your brother's not that far
Yeah.
if he helps you. Um,
Correct.
damn young siblings. Um, as you know, my brother, like my sister, and them, they live up in Butler. I have to drive an hour if I want him to help me. You know what I mean? Like, and I just pull up to the house. He's got all of his shit there. You know what I mean? He just does it, just like when you go
Yeah.
to your dad's. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But it's like, so I was like, he was like, you could do it. He was like, you got the tools, and I was like, what do I need? He goes, probably just some wrenches, socket, nothing major. I was like, yeah, I got all that. He was like, okay. So he walked me through it. But like you said, to find the fucking thing, it's like back down behind, wrapped around, and I'm like, I don't. What the like? This
Yeah.
is where I like
Yeah.
fucked
Like
up.
when I did my starter, I had to like have like my air intake like up, hooked up with a fucking cow
Yeah,
tie, fucking come back down. I was like, man, fuck, what the fuck? And then like, luckily, like I had those 3 days to do it, but like all in all, time wise, it took me about 2 hours,
yeah.
just pissing around with it and shit. But like, I mean, yeah, spread over 3 days because like at the time we were doing the food truck rally and all that shit.
No,
So like,
yeah. Like if you had like one good day to just stop everything and do it,
it'd be
yeah, you
done.
definitely would have got it done.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what I'm doing. They'll be watching this on Friday today. Like,
Yeah,
I'm going into it. So more
yeah,
than likely, I'll have it done on today. Like, it'll be done.
yeah.
But I mean,
That's
I'll let y'all know eventually. Like, if it worked, like I don't know. I don't have no faith in my car right now. So
dude,
we'll
I
see.
feel like they always say it's like a chain reaction. Like you fix one thing and something else breaks. But I just feel like yours, because it's like you said, you had the intake and everything fixed, but it was like that has nothing to do with the bearing. So it's like it's
Facts.
just random ass shit. Just like, yeah, I'm just gonna decide to fall apart today.
Yeah, right. Like it like I was starting to drive it, and I just kept hearing this like thumping, and I was like, I don't have a flat tire. So immediately I go into Google, and I was like, man, what happens? Like then my ABS light came on. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like what is happening? And they're like, oh, your wheel bearing shot. I was like,
Yeah,
I want to blow the fucking car up. Like
I
that's what it's getting to. But it's getting to the point where it's like it's time for the Jeep Compass to go like on to greener pastures. Like it's time to get out of here. Like
In a river.
it's time, maybe, maybe. I told Brandy. I haven't told. I told my dad because my dad was like, "Blow it up." That's not. It's not that fucking easy. Like it's not. But he's
Like that's the
just.
one thing this car won't do is blow the fuck up.
That's it. It'll smoke like a motherfucker. Like if I'm partying with Snoop Dogg, Mac Miller, and Wiz Khalifa all in the same fucking car. But
Yeah,
no, no, it won't do what I want it to do. It won't go
yeah,
to fucking bed. But he's like, well, you're gonna need a new car. It's life's not that easy. Like
yeah,
God, I wish I could just flip it and go get a new whip. That'd be me.
yeah.
But if not, in the words of fucking Rocky, if it dies, it dies. Like that's it. If it's done, it's done.
Hey,
Um,
let's not talk about death this week, bro.
well, I mean, it's hit us pretty hard this week. Like it's pretty bad. Like
I just looked at Donna. We were sitting here. Like I said, I was sitting here. We were eating dinner. And I just looked at her and I was like, my fucking childhood shot, bro. Like,
dude, it's been nuts. Like, so when I saw Brandy was telling me that Malcolm Jamal Warner died, I was like,
yeah,
"Man, what?"
that was
I was,
that was number one.
I was like, man, that sucks. Like, what happened? He drowned or whatever. And I was
Yeah,
like,
because when I saw the breaking news app, KDK sent me the alert, and I was like, is he sick? Like, I don't remember hearing anything that like.
right
But sometimes these celebrities keep that shit quiet. You know what I mean?
on the
You don't.
down low,
Sometimes you don't know, and they just. I feel like Malcolm Jamal too. Like he didn't live this like high popular life. You know what I mean? Like yes, if he was out and about, they tried to paparazzi him, but like for the most part, I feel like he kept his life pretty
yeah,
tight. And it was like so. I was like, wow, did some like you said, and I saw the actual. I was like, drop what rip current? Like what the fuck? Like
right. And I was like, man, now I have to go back and maybe watch a little bit of the Cosby Show, even though fuck Bill Cosby. But then then I had to watch some Community because he was great in there as Shirley's husband.
yeah,
And I was like, man, like so many things that he was cool in, and I loved watching him in. And then I was like, man, that sucks. Then of course, then you think like, well, who's next? Because like it comes in threes with celebrity death. So I was like, all right. And then fuck, dude, like Ozzy Osbourne fucking blew me away. I was like,
I
what
I
the
was just
fuck?
so I'll. This is one of those things where I'll never forget. It's like people ask like, "What 9/11? Where were you when 9/11 happened?" You know what I mean? Like that breaking news came across that Ozzy died, and I was at work, just sitting at my desk working, and I just immediately just like I just slowly put my phone down and just stared at my computer screen like, no, like come on.
Right.
So then I went on uh Twitter. You can get some answers off of the Twitter.
You
And
can, you can.
I went on there and I was like, it started popping up, popping up, popping up. And I'm like, okay, this is no joke. Like, this isn't just
It's
a.
legit.
And I'm like, wow. Like, he's got, like, it's so, because, like, you know, eh, he just did that concert. And, I mean, he looked good. For a man in his position, he
Yeah.
looked good. You
Given
know,
everything he's done,
he
been through.
sounded pretty good again for a guy in his position. You know what I mean? Like, there was a few times where his voice kind of cracked, and I'm like, oh, all right, buddy.
Yeah, right.
But it was like he and I was like, okay, this is cool. You know what I mean? Like, so, and then there was, some videos and clips that came out, like Kelly got engaged and just some of the behind the scenes things, like the other celebrities and bands that were there, just going and talking to them and having their little like behind the scene moments with them. And I'm like, this is so cool. This is so cool. And then it was just like, I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Right.
So I was telling Donna and Jane and Gino, uh, I was at a loss. Like I literally like froze. Like once it like all snapped, it like yeah he died. like that, like, I mean, so many people, like, he touched so many people. And for me, like, we grew up with that music around us. You know what I mean? Like, your dad's a heavy metal guy. You know what I mean? Like, my stepdad was a rock metal guy. You know what I mean? Like that. So like Ozzy, I put it out there on social media, a couple of different like platforms, and I kind of said the same thing in all of them. Like Sabbath and Ozzy, like that's what inspired my taste in music. Like I will always be. I listened to a lot. Like you know what I mean. Like we have a
Yeah.
wide variety of of music, but like I always like. I think for you, you always tend to fall more towards the hip hop. Like if you know what I mean. I always tend to fall back towards the rock music,
Right.
and I I, I went to Ozfest every year he came. We were just talking about it on fucking 4th of
We
July
were, yeah.
with Brandy and Sam. Like you know what I mean. Like we were talking about like Ozfest and things of that nature, and it was just like it all I don't like it all just started like coming back to me like like oh I remember when I saw him and he performed this and he did that and these bands came and it was like it just all started like coming back and it was just like it sucked. I was like this fucking horrible. So obviously on my way home from work, best of Aussie, like I the whole ride home, and then we got home. Donna made dinner. Jane and Gino were here. He came down and had dinner with us. And without even normally we try to watch, like a movie or something,
Yeah.
kind of sit and have dinner. And I didn't tell any of them. I just went straight to it. Boom, 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 right to the streaming on Amazon Prime. And Jane was like, "What are we watching tonight, Dad?" And I was like, "Just sit down and buckle up." Fucking, we went through the whole first season of The Osbournes.
That's
Like,
great.
because I'm like, that's what I told Jane. I was like, she's like, she knows. Like, one of Donna's dad to this day finds it like hilarious but cute. Like it's just a moment. They're driving up to Erie. Donna's mom called us. They're driving up to Erie. They're taking Jane with them for like a weekend. And her dad's a DVE guy. You know what I mean? And uh Ozzy comes on. They're just driving up. He's just listening to his music, cruising, driving. Jane's in the back seat. This is how little she was. She was still in like a booster, like a car seat. And they're driving up, and fucking Crazy Train comes on. And out of the back, Donna's mom and dad just hear Jane singing it word for word, doing the laughing part and everything.
That's hard.
But that's what her mom called. And she goes, "Do you know that your daughter just sat here and sang Crazy Train on the ride up to Erie?" And I was like, "I raised her right. I raised her right."
Right? Like, that's
So
my
she
guy.
knows. She knows Ozzy. Like when I told her when we got home, she didn't realize it. I was like, "Jane, Ozzy died." She's like, "Get the." And then Gino, who's Ozzy? She goes, "Dad, kick him out. I
Yeah,
don't know
right.
this kid." And then when we put on the show, he goes, "Oh, Ozzy." He goes, "I know who that is." And I'm like, "Yeah, you fucking better."
You fucking
Um,
gotta know who he is.
but Jane never saw the show. Like she's heard us talk about it a little bit,
Yeah.
and yeah, she had watched the other show with him and his son Jack when they did that like travel the world thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she watched that with me when that was on. So she knows who he is. She
She has
knows
an
the
idea.
family.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she was dying, especially the episode where he's throwing hams at the neighbor. She's dying, and I'm like, this is like this is sad, like to watch this shit and know that he's gone. Like,
Yeah.
so I told them, so we're watching that, and I told them, I said, I think him and Sharon knew that that was it. I don't think they told anybody else. I would be surprised if they even told the kids.
That's
I think
possible.
because the way he cried and got choked up when he sang "Mama, I'm Coming Home" at the end of that concert, he knew those words were hitting him. He knew what was
He knew
coming.
he was going, it was happening.
But I and that's what I said. Like they obviously didn't know that was. I mean, yeah, it was his last show, but they didn't know because that took like, over a year in planning. I don't think they knew that far back, but I think within the past month he had gotten some medical updates that were like maybe
Yeah.
not good, you know. So I'm wondering, like, that's just my guess, my opinion on it all. Like, I think that there was, yeah, and that's maybe why. The only thing that makes me think that maybe the kids knew was the fact that Kelly's boyfriend, what's his name from Slipknot, proposed to her at backstage at the show because it was kind of like, we don't know how much longer we have with him. Let's, I want to
Yeah.
propose. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
have him be somewhat of a part of it.
Right.
So I don't know. That was rough. And then today,
Well, hold on, because speaking of that show, my my dad, whenever we would do stuff around the house,
yeah,
we work on a project or something, and he gets in this like one of his spells where he feels like he's gonna fall. He's
yeah,
like, "Oh God, I'm doing the Aussie," and he's like, he'll sit there and start skirting or whatever. And my dad all the time will just blurt it out all the time. He'll be like, "Sharon, I'm the Prince of Darkness, not the Prince of Bubbles." And dude, he did it all the time. He does it all the fucking time. And then
yeah,
I text him uh today and I said like, "Hey, like you gonna still use that?" He was like, "Oh yeah, absolutely." He was like, "I fucking love Ozzy Osbourne."
yeah. I was gonna text you that day, or maybe it was even the next day, just to be like, hey, how's Pops handling the news? You know what I mean? Because I know, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I said, you're,
He told me he was listening to Ozzy's Boneyard today, so I was like in perfect fashion.
yeah. That's what I said. I already had it downloaded on my Amazon Music thing. I have like it's like the best of Ozzy. It's like the essential. It's like
Right.
the two disc thing. Well, back in the day, it would have been two discs.
Back in the day, two disc.
Um,
But yeah,
huh.
you're right.
So
Now
like
we're hip
I
today.
listened to most of that, and it was just like um, and it was crazy too because I'm like, he just got inducted into the Hall of Fame as Ozzy. He was already in his Black Sabbath. He got in as Ozzy, and it was just like I watched that, like watching Jack Black, like that was just crazy. Yeah, that was a rough one. That one took me a moment to kind of compartmentalize and to get through because it was
You
like,
didn't get. I was like, you didn't get through long.
no,
You didn't get
no,
through long, bro.
no, and
And
then
then
like,
fucking today.
or well, yesterday, I guess if you guys are watching
If
this,
you're watching this today, yeah. So then yesterday,
like
man.
like it, I was just catching the headline when you text me because all I saw was, I think it was from ESPN alert. I got the little pop up on my phone, and it was just like the preview, and it was like WWE superstar passes away or something like that. And I was like, who the fuck now? And before I could finish opening it to read the whole who it was, you text me, and it like popped up over top of the ESPN, and it was you were like Hogan died, and I was like motherfucker,
I was more breaking news than TMZ.
and I'm
I was
like
more
son of a
important.
bitch. I was like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding again. Like I'm like this isn't. I mean, obviously, if ESPN's reporting it, it's real. I mean, I know you're not going to lie to me, like you know what I mean. But it was just like,
Yeah.
so once again, I started like, all right, who's reporting this? Let me read a little bit more, and I'm like, because he also like he, I don't know what his cause of death was. I'm assuming it had to have been heart, like
Yeah,
something.
he had like a cardiac. He had a cardiac episode in Florida.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, we just saw him. He's been back doing a few things with WWE. Like, he's still out there. He's promoting his beer now. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, he ain't promoting
yeah,
shit now.
no. So it was like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of people are still on the outs about Hogan, but like, if you grew up your childhood and if you watched wrestling, you knew who the fuck Hulk Hogan was, and you loved Hulk Hogan.
yeah.
Like,
And, and you know what? I went back today. So, normally on my lunch break, I watch McAfee, but they're on break today, this week. They took an early weekend.
right,
And, so I went back and rewatched at the beginning of the year, right at the Rumble, the weekend of the Rumble. He had Hogan on live at his show, on at his studio. And I love when McAfee interviews people because he can get stuff out of them that like a normal reporter or interviewer doesn't get out of people, because I feel like McAfee, he just makes people comfortable and they just feel like they can open up to him, and like for Hogan, like break character and not have to sit there and
Yeah.
go brother and 24-inch python. You know what I mean? Like he can just be Terry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it was cool because, and Pat doesn't care. He'll ask the questions, but he doesn't ask them in an asshole way that like, somebody from NBC News would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're trying to get a story, like they're trying to get them riled up. Like, so he asked him about that. He was like, "Listen," he goes, because when he came out at the Rumble promoting his beer and he got fucking booed.
Yeah.
He goes, "How did you feel about that?" And he goes, "Well, or no, it was at the Netflix,
The Netflix
um,
debut.
the next in LA." He goes, "Well," he goes, "I was a bad guy in Hollywood for the longest time." He goes, "I was Hollywood Hogan in that era," hence the name there. Um,
Yeah.
so he was like, "I I know they weren't booing me because of who I am." He was like, "I know they were booing me because of political shit." He
Yeah.
goes, and I don't feel that that's right. Everybody's titled to their opinion. Everybody, he goes, I have friends that are Democrat, and like he went through this whole thing, and I'm like, oh, like I get it. Like, yes, you're a Trump supporter, but you're a Trump supporter because he's your friend. Like those two have done plenty of business together.
Throughout the years.
It's kind. He said it without saying it. Like, yeah, he's an asshole, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I know him differently than you guys do. You know what I mean? That type of a thing. So it was like, so Pat was like, oh, so that stuff doesn't bother you. He goes, no, it bothers me. Like, and he went on this whole, and again, he was not saying this is Hulk Hogan. He was just talking from his heart, like as
Terry
a
Bollea.
guy, just as a guy. And he was just like the, just about the current political environment and everything's divided and split and this and that. He goes, I live in the middle of a Democrat and a Republican. He goes, my neighbors hate each other. He goes, and I hate it. And he said that was the whole point of him making a beer, was he was like, everybody should be able to get together, have a beer, and be friends. He was like, and I wanted the beer to be American. He goes, there's nothing better than American brewed beer. Like, he just,
Yeah.
so like I don't want to say he went on this rant, but he went on this long story. Like, it was such a great interview. And he even looked at Pat and he goes, I'll keep talking if you don't cut me off. Dude, and he had Jimmy Hart with him. And Jimmy Hart was like, I mean, you guys call me the mouth of the South. He goes, this dude don't shut the fuck up. Like, and Pat was like, no, this is good. Like, let's go. Like, dude, he talked about Randy, like how him and like, I did not know, dude, the beef between them. Now everybody knows that it was over Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And that wasn't just a work for wrestling.
No,
That was real.
that was real.
But but Hulk, well, see, I said I call him Hulk, but he, whatever, Hulk Hogan, he broke, I guess, news on that episode of McAfee where he was like, listen, that wasn't me. That was my ex-wife. They went on a girls' trip, her and Elizabeth, and she's the one that told him, like, Randy's no good, da da da, like, he's going to abuse you, like, all this shit, like, you should
Yeah.
leave him. And that's why when they got back, Miss Elizabeth was like, I'm out. I want a divorce. He
Yeah.
goes, that wasn't me. He goes, that was my wife. He goes, so for 8 years, I lost my best friend because of some bullshit.
What's
He's like,
funny is there's a one of the first episodes of Dark Side of the Ring covers Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth.
yeah,
That whole story is in there.
yeah, like, and
Yeah.
and then he said too, like, and this is what made it sad because I'm watching this episode knowing that he had just passed away today. And he was like, we just started rekindling our relationship again. Like, I ran into him at an outing, like, because I guess him and Randy's brother still were cool and hung out, and
Yeah.
they would go do some wrestling circuits here and there. And he was like, I ran into him and we kind of buried the hatchet for the most part, but it wasn't like we're just hanging out at each other's houses again. He goes, and I was hosting a barbecue, and I called him up and said, Randy, can you come up to the barbecue? I'm gonna have a barbecue in like a week when me and your brother get back from this wrestling thing. Bring mom, because he knew Macho Man's mom and shit.
Yeah.
Like he was like, bring your mom, like whatever, this and that. And he was like, oh, I got remarried. Like at this point, Randy was remarried and stuff. He was like, bring the wife, like I want to meet her, like
Oh,
all this shit. Dude, he didn't even make it through the week, and he fucking died.
he went and hit that. He had that car crash.
And I'm like, dude, that sucks. And that's
Yep.
like Pat was like, yeah, people don't know that. People still thought that when he died, you two still had beef. And he goes, no, it was buried. We were cool. And we were just going to have our first real hangout. And he didn't even make it. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, and now you're dead. Like, holy fuck.
Well, now if you think about it, they are hanging out.
Oh, they're hanging out.
Oh, they're hanging out.
They're dropping elbows and leg drops in the sky.
Mega powers. Yeah, yeah, get it.
Pat asked him, he goes, if is there anything in your career that you regret? And he goes, yeah. He goes, what? He goes, that fucking leg drop. He was like, wait, what? He goes, that's the worst finisher in the world. He goes, what do you mean? That's one of the most signature finishers that everybody does the leg drop. He goes, do you know how many times I've left the ring with a hurt tailbone, my spine out of whack, a fucking leg muscle pulled because of that leg drop? He goes, I was the man that walked around talking about 24-inch pythons. Why couldn't my finisher just be a simple fucking chokehold and
Yeah,
just
that's
knock the
true.
guy out? He was like, what the fuck was I thinking? He goes, but by the time I realized it, I was hooked. I couldn't change my finisher at that point.
That's true. You're kind of Hulk Hogan now, bro.
Yeah. He was like, he goes, so wait, that's the one thing you regret in all of your wrestling career? He goes, yeah. He was like, I hated that move.
Dude, I thought about him like all day, and then I thought about like
Yeah.
the cheesy '80s movies he did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Like,
What was he did like the Mr. Nanny one, or
yeah.
not, and then he did what was the Space Commander one where he fucking
Oh my god. Oh,
uh
this is why we need Sam, and Sam's on vacation.
yeah, like he did in that.
Thunder in Paradise.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he
He's also Thunder Lips. God damn it.
like, do you know that he originally got fired from WWE because he took the part in Rocky 3?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I thought it was like, I mean, I knew that he left because of a disagreement, but I
Yeah.
didn't know it was because of the movie.
Yeah. I
And
thought
it's
it was
also
like
known as one of the worst Rocky movies.
right. But you know what's so funny? I love Rocky 3 because of fucking Thunder Lips.
Yeah, like
It's
he,
all
dude,
fake,
and then
huh, meatball? It's all fake.
so they asked him about that on the McAfee show. Like it's such a long interview. It was so good.
I'll have to watch it.
Um, and uh, it's from February 3rd. That's
Okay.
um he they asked him about. They said, well, since you brought up the Rocky thing, they're like, is it true that you really whooped his ass in that ring? Like you went and just you didn't hold back and you really? He goes, yes and no. He goes, my plan wasn't to hurt him. He goes, but Stallone told me, what do we got to do to make this look real? And he goes, well, I can make it look real. He goes, they actually fired the stunt coordinator, and Hogan was the stunt coordinator for that whole scene
Oh, in the ring.
in the ring. And he was like, yeah, he goes, the one part where I threw him into the corner real hard and then I swan dived onto him.
Yeah.
He goes, I got my leg up too far and almost fucking snapped his collarbone.
Oh my god.
He goes, and then when he did that, where he held him over his head and then he
He
walked
did the
around and then
press.
did
Yeah.
the press and slammed him. He goes, that was real. He goes, when he hit the ground and the blood, he spit out blood. He's like, that was real. He goes, I thought I fucking killed him. He goes, because we didn't plan for him to spit out blood. That wasn't in the script. He was like, that was real blood. Like he had internal injuries.
Oh god. He almost killed Sly Stallone.
He was like, but he wanted it real. And he kept saying, let's do it again. Let's do it again. And he was like, I don't think you can keep going again.
Right?
Hogan was like, I had to be the voice of reason. I don't think that was proper.
Right? That
I just
does.
was like, it was. That's what I mean. Like, it was such a good interview, and it just I went back and watched it because, like I said, like it had popped. Like McAfee had said, like like his little like rest in peace. Obviously him being part of the WWE world and stuff. He had like a little post, and it was the picture from that episode of them um getting a photo together. And I was like, oh, I want to go back and watch that episode. Like, so that's what made me want to go back and watch it. And it was just like, it was, it was like the shit that the story, like, he's like that old guy now. Like, like our grandfather, like when our grandfathers were around, or like, you always say, like, you meet those old guys and they just want to sit and just talk about old war stories and stuff like that. Like, I
Right.
think that's kind of where Hogan was. Like, he just was like, he said he was at peace with his life at this point. Like, he made the amends that he could. He goes, yes, I had some other choices like the political stuff and some of the other things that he said he's gotten in trouble for over the years. He was like, I regret, like, I wish they didn't happen, but they did, and I can't fix it now.
Right.
And it was just like he was like, I'm just at peace, and it was just like he just liked promoting his products, whatever it was he was promoting, talking about wrestling, and just sitting down and just telling stories.
Do
Like he just
you do you know that Hulk Hogan was scheduled to be here in Pittsburgh?
for.
He was going to promote his beer.
Oh no, I didn't know he was coming.
Yeah, he was coming in like the next month. I was like, man, you couldn't hold off.
I know. And I was telling you off air before we started recording. Like I watched before we started recording. I just got done watching the Ric Flair interview from TMZ.
Woo!
Bro, he was busted up. Like and that's what I was telling Donna. I was like, if you would have sat me down and said, all right, we got Ric Flair, we got Hulk Hogan, who's dying today?
I'm gonna go Ric Flair all
Flair.
day.
Flair. I mean, the man just got out of the hospital and had fucking got cleared from that skin cancer.
Right.
That's what
Eight
I was telling.
years
Like,
ago, he was on the fucking verge of death.
yeah, his heart like blew up and shit. Like Charlotte thought she lost her dad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and he still had the stitches and the scar or the staples and stuff in his head from the skin cancer grafts and everything. And it was just like this dude looked like he just fucking walked through hell. And he's sitting there talking about his friend who, even on McAfee, Hulk said that he still was lifting, he still was in shape. Like he was like, I can't do what I used to because of the back surgeries. He said that was one other thing he regretted in his life was getting those back surgeries.
Yeah,
Because he feels like he came out worse than he was before them.
gotcha.
He was like, but I still lifted. He goes, I still got, you can see, I still got my arms. You know what I mean? Like I'm still,
I still got 24-inch pythons.
yeah. Like he was like, it. So yeah, out of the two, I'd have never thought that Ric Flair would be going to Hogan's funeral.
Hands fucking down, dude. I never thought that we'd see Ric Flair going to Hogan's funeral. I always thought it'd be the other way around.
Yeah, like I just, and then Flair was talking about like he was telling stories too about like him and Steamboat and Hogan and some of their matches and stuff. And I was like, this. That's the only thing like with these like celebrity deaths, like especially if it's somebody like Ozzy or Hogan that you really, you know, uh, admired and grew up around, watching and listening to their music and stuff. Like there's a lot of really cool stories that come out of these when these people pass away because people come out of the woodworks talking about things that happen behind the scenes that you generally don't get to know or hear about.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's crazy. Like it's just, yeah, like so it's
Yeah. That's
like
that's why I'm like, who the fuck is it? That better be it for a little bit. Because like
yeah, I
that
don't.
was three blows that were like bing bang boom. I was like, God dang.
Yeah, and two out of the three were very unexpected.
No.
Again, the Aussie one, like you knew it was coming at some point, but again, me and Jane were just talking about it because she was like, because I was watching, again some of the videos and that from the last concert, and she was like, well, how long do people live with Parkinson's? And I'm like, it's one of those diseases that you never know. You could have a couple days, you could have a couple months, you could have a couple years, you could have I mean, like look at Michael J. Fox. That man has fought and has lived through Parkinson's for how many years?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, Ozzy's still kind of in the early stages of the diagnosis. Like he only got diagnosed in 2019. So it's like, you know, I want to say he didn't like it was just like an early like finding out. What I want to say is still early. So it's like, yeah, who knows how long he has. And then next thing, and that's what when I told her that, she goes, Dad, we were just talking. You just said you don't know how long he's going to live. And I was like, I didn't think it was going to be that long.
I didn't think I like bestowed something upon him. Like,
Yeah, dude. And they said too, like, again, these little like tidbits about these people come out. Like, um, oh, who was the other artist? Oh, shit.
oh man.
It was, it was, I want to say kind of recent. There was a musician, another rock guy. Who the fuck was it? I can't think now. There was a rock guy. He performed another like last run, like one more time show, and then he died 17 days later. Ozzy performed that big concert, and it was 17 days, and then he died.
Wow.
I can't think of who the person was now. It's gonna bug the shit out of me. Where's Sam? Fuck Sam.
She'll be back. She'll be back. She'll be back for 100. We'll be all ready to go.
She's fucking up there.
So I
She's
was
up
like,
there.
what?
She's getting
I,
ritual.
I was like, yeah, she's she's up there getting her ghost on, going to fucking Mets games. If you follow Samantha on social, she's having a fucking gay old time. Fred Flintstone up in New York. So this is the best part. I now get to bring in Xander for his his review of Superman. So
Ooh.
bear with me because we're gonna get with it. So excuse me while I yell for Xander. Xander, can you come here for a minute? Every time Xander goes and sees a movie, we are now going to tell you what he thinks of the movie. And then, hi. What? Hello, Xander. Hey. So you went and saw Superman, right? I went to Superman. This was nightmare. Was it a nightmare? Yes, it is. I thought you did. You like it? Yes, bro. So was it? It wasn't a nightmare. Yes. Or did you enjoy it? I enjoy it. Would you watch it again? Yeah. And that was Xander's conclusion of him watching Superman. It's a lot better than the Jurassic Park one where he was like, it was all right.
I love that kid. It
It was
was
a
a.
nightmare.
I was waiting for
Wait,
him to
did you
say
enjoy
fucking
it?
night.
Yeah, I did.
I was waiting for him to. Yeah, that's an answer you'd get out of your fucking dad. He talks just like your dad.
Dude, I swear to God, sometimes I feel like I'm talking to my old man.
He's like, yeah, it was a nightmare. You do it again? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I
Like,
was like, would you go see it again? Yeah. Okay, why not? All of a sudden, my son's doing like a De Niro.
that was awesome.
But you have seen it, and I
Yeah,
titled
I
it with
saw it.
Passions with me last week. So
Yeah, I saw it. And I'm biased. Um, I don't think
was it
people
a
can take.
nightmare?
I don't think people can take my word for truth because that's my dude. Superman's my guy. When people say superhero, who's your favorite? The guy in the red and blue. No, not Captain America. The guy with the cape. Like that's my
Not
man.
Cody Rhodes?
Nah, no, because he's a nightmare.
Hey, see, maybe that's where he's getting it.
Yeah,
But sure as
he's
shit
a
ain't
little confused.
Homelander. My kid ain't watching the boys.
No. Um. So yeah, as the people that I've talked to about it, they just look at me like, "Is it really that good? Or are you just saying that because that's your shit?" And I'm like, "No, listen. So this is gonna this movie, I think, did cause a lot of debate because there's different eras of Superman. Just like you got your different eras of Batman. It's like who's the best Batman? What was the best Batman movie? Everybody's gonna have their every same thing with Spider Man. Everybody's going to have their own opinion and judgment on who they thought was the best, what was the best series. In my heart, original 80, like Christopher Reeve. That's when you say the name Superman, automatically picture in my mind is Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
That's my Superman. That's what I grew up with. That will always be number one to me. Those movies will always be the best because it was the first one of the first times that a superhero was taken out of the comics and put on the big screen. Um, so to me, that was always that's what I grew up with. That's what I knew. That's what I loved. And then you had the
Henry
Cavill,
Cavill.
whatever
I
pronounce the
got you.
fuck out. I mispronounce his last name all the time, or there's different flows to it. Um, but I didn't think he was bad. I just don't think that he ever got a real shot, like because the Man of Steel and then like the Justice League movies, like they were kind of like not the greatest superhero movies, and I don't blame him or that character. Like I just think as a whole, that Zack Snyder universe, as they were calling it, like
Yeah.
just didn't really pan out the way they thought it was going to. So I always wonder, like in a different storytelling or a different atmosphere, you know, would it be different? We don't know.
Right.
But now we got Corn Sweat, and I was iffy. I'm like, I don't know this dude. I just don't know. Like from the trailers and some of the pictures, like the suit looked weird and he looked awkward, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, and I'm hoping for something good because again, we just had like a very mediocre run at the Superman story. And I'm like, I don't know. But I was going to give it a chance. I was going to go see it. There was no doubt. And we went. And let me tell you, that was 2 hours of cinema that I don't think I've ever enjoyed more. And again, it's not just because it was Superman and that's my guy. Like, DC is now being run by James Gunn. And this is his first I mean, he's working on the Peacemakers, which are great.
They are
He's
great.
he had the Creature Commandos and the uh, Suicide Squad. You know what I mean? Like those were good. But this is his first big screen,
DC
like
one.
DC, like start the company over. Like we're gonna really try and compete with Marvel right now, and just the storytelling, the cinematic, like there was one, like I'm not going to give any spoilers away, people. I mean, it's been out long enough. Hopefully people have seen it, but if not, I won't spoil anything. But obviously there's Superman scenes. He's flying around in the clouds, and I had to close my eyes, and I didn't even this. I just saw it in general standard format. Like I didn't go, see it in the IMAX or in the standard or in the high def, super uh 8D, whatever the hell it is, theaters. I just standard format. And I had to close my eyes because I literally felt like I was like, oh, I'm getting a little like almost like seasick, like
It's like it's
because
becoming a little bit too much.
yeah, like it felt so real, and I'm just like, that's crazy. Like I've never gone to a movie and like felt like
Right.
it like the way he filmed everything, and then again the storytelling, like again, I'm trying to use my words wisely here. Like they tell the Superman story in a different point of view and a different like I want to say part of his life.
Yeah.
So every Superman story that's ever been told, it's always Superman comes to Earth. He gets found by Mom and Pa Kent. They hide his spaceship, and he gets raised as a normal boy, and then he becomes Superman, and he fights Lex Luthor, and da da da. Like every story that's been told us, Superman has been started that way. James Gunn was like, fuck that. Been there, done that. How many times? It's getting old. Let's start from a different point of view. He's already Superman. There are people in the movie that know Clark Kent is Superman. Like, he's already got a relationship with Lois Lane. It's not like he's just starting at the Daily Planet and
Right.
that whole fumble bumble, like trying to be a reporter and hide my identity. Like, no, he's Superman. There are people that know, a lot of people that don't know still, but like the people, like he has like his inner circle, you know.
Yeah.
But like it it tells it from a different point of view. Like I said, him and Lois already have a relationship, and it's just like this movie. I watched an interview with the guy that plays Superman, that Corn Sweat.
Corn sweat.
He was on like Kimmel or Fallon, and he was saying like the original idea for this movie was to be a day in the life of Superman. Like, what? So when Superman wakes up on Monday, what is his day like? Goes home, goes to bed. Tuesday comes. What is Tuesday like? Like, just like a normal person. Like, what is
Yeah.
a day in the life of this person like? But they felt that that was a little eh. So they did it the way they did, but you still get that concept because it's like this movie, the title was Superman, and I was me, you, and Brandy, and we're talking about it, and I said this is the first time that the movie's ever been titled just Superman. It was always the Superman movie or Man of Steel. Like, there's never been just Superman.
Superman.
And James Gunn did it that way because they really focused on that name and they took out the super part and they just focused on the man that is Clark Kent, that is Superman. Like, and it's like you get almost like this behind the scenes look at his life and what he deals with on a daily basis. And they use current, like, political situations, current things happening in the world. But okay, we're dealing with it as normal, everyday
Yeah.
citizens. But how does he have to deal with that kind of shit? You know what I mean? Like, it
Right.
was just, again, the storytelling was so good, and it was just so like a hundred. Like, I told Mike, I was like, look, if anybody's going to see it, let me know because I'll, like, you guys, Xander, would you see it again? Yep, I will see it.
Yes.
Like, I will go again. Like, and then they get you at the end, man. Like, oh, and that's the other thing. This movie, James Gunn style, hilarious. Like, if you think Peacemaker is hilarious, and some of his other, like, Guardians of the Galaxy when he was with Marvel, hilarious. Superman, there were so many points in this movie where I was dying. I'm like, I was not expecting that. Like, some of the
Nice.
some of the inside jokes, like okay, I'll tell you this one. It's not giving anything away, so everybody knows that Green Lantern's in the movie. It's in the trailers. There's a big fight scene, and Green Lantern comes to help. Well, he's using the ring, the power of the ring, to make fists to punch like armored vehicles and tanks and stuff. If you're not paying attention enough, you'll miss it. But as these hands are coming out and punching the armored vehicles and tanks, he's shooting the screen the middle finger with the fucking Green Lantern ring.
Yeah, that's hard.
I'm like, that's hilarious. Like, that's like, it's like, there's a point in the movie where you get to see Superman's angry side, and I was
Okay.
like, oh, that's different.
That's new.
Like, that's not. And I don't want to say I apologize because I don't know the fucking man, but this is what I'm gonna say. Like, I don't. The guy that plays Lex Luthor, that guy deserves an Emmy or an Oscar, whatever the fuck they give out for this shit. We were only 2-hour movie. We're good 15, 20 minutes into the movie, and I was like, I hate this motherfucker. I hate him. Like, if I saw him in real life on the street, I'd either run him over with my car or get out and beat the fuck out of him because he plays the prick asshole Lex Luthor so good that I'm like, I really believe like this guy is real and that I want to fuck him up. Like, I can't stand him.
Yeah.
Like, the whole movie, I'm going, please, somebody fucking kill him. Like, I hate him. I'm like, but in my mind, I'm like, it's just a comment. It's just a character. Like, it's not real.
Yeah,
Like,
right. But it's almost like wrestling. Like you're so invested in a heel where you
Yes,
kind of fucking hate that dude.
and that's what I'm saying. Like the storytelling and the cinematic side of this movie was just so good, and again, like the jokes and just the little tidbits that you weren't expecting was just, and that's where I think I told you, like it reminded me of current WWE in a way that, we always say like now, like Triple H is playing the long game. He'll
Yeah.
sprinkle in stories, and you'll be like, "Wow, what's that for?" And then a month or so later, you'll be like, "Oh shit! Like that's happening because of something that happened at that other pay-per-view."
Right.
Like I feel like with this movie, James Gunn is setting up for the long game of DC. Like there's so many little tidbits that you're like, "Oh, okay, I can see that happening,"
Yeah.
or this is gonna be. And then some of it did happen in the movie, but then there's other parts where I'm like, okay, that's definitely got to be a longer storytelling. And he involved characters that like you don't normally like. Again, typical Superman. You got your Lex Luthor. You got a few other, but like he really dove deep into the archives of Superman comics and brought out characters that I'm like, oh, that's sweet. That's cool. Like that guy's never gotten his
Yeah.
big moment or big TV. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't even in the cartoons.
Yeah.
Like he's really spreading the shit around, and it's just like I I can't say any more without spoiling it because
Right.
there's so much.
No.
And it's definitely one of those Easter egg movies that you have to go back and either like go on YouTube and watch like one of those Easter egg, review guys and like,
Right.
yep, okay, that's what or you just have to watch the movie a second time. But now that you've watched it once through, you can look for the little shit. Like, there's
Yeah.
so much stuff that is like gonna come out of this movie, and I just was like, oh. And then I told like Crypto the dog fucking steals the movie. Like, I just saw a thing the other day where they said because James Gunn like told the story of how Crypto was based off of his rescue dog that he just adopted, and that's where he got the idea to put Crypto in the movie and based the look and everything off of his new dog. They said that like dogs being adopted, like foster, like rescue dogs, the across the U.S. are up because everybody's like, yeah, I want to rescue a dog because of Superman. Like, but the dog, but I think I told you, I might have told Mike too. Brother, I knew that obviously it's Crypto, it's Super Dog. The dog isn't going to really fucking fly. It's CGI.
Right.
Like, okay, there's other parts of the movie that's a real dog. It's not a real fucking dog. It's a CGI dog the whole movie that had me thinking it was a real fucking dog.
Oh, AI dog.
Like that again, back to the cinematics of this movie are so good that I'm like, that I thought that was a real fucking dog. You're telling me that was CGI the whole time? Like, and then back to like the actor that plays Superman, Corn Sweat,
Corn
like
sweat.
he I know his last name is so weird. Um he once you watch him in the movie, for one, the dude I I would want to look up like his Wikipedia or whatever because like this dude is fucking huge. He is so jacked. Like, and I don't know if that's how he just is in general or if he did it for the movie or whatever. Like, because it's when they have him out of the suit and he's just being Clark or walking around the
Yeah.
city in disguise, like his normal everyday clothes. Like, I'm like that fucking, and he's so tall. I'm like, this fucking dude is huge. Like, and I
So is
didn't
that
get,
corn sweat, bro.
I didn't get. He's sweating the corn. I don't know. Like he, like I didn't get that imaging from like some of the trailers and stuff, but like actually watching the movie, I was like, okay, this dude actually is. And then he gets the good old little Superman curl and the hair and the whole. I'm like, okay, he does have he's got the
He's
look
got a
going
little
on.
swag. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's playing. He's just got done. He's finished Superman, and now he's filming a football movie. So he had to shave his head. So that's why, like post movie interviews and stuff that I've seen of him, I'm like, wow, was that a wig? Like, did he have like fake, like that was all Hollywood hair? But no, that was his hair. He just had to shave it as soon as Superman was done because he's filming this New York Giants football movie. He said,
Hmm. That's because his corn was sweating, bro.
yeah, sweated the hair right out. Like it, so it was a really really good movie. Even if you're not a superhero fan or even a Superman fan, like just I mean, because this movie has everything. It obviously it has action. Like I said, surprisingly a ton of comedy. There's the love story, the Lois and Superman love story, like
Right.
and a few other. Bro, they got me at the end. The only thing they got me at the end, there's like the way they end the movie is I don't think I'm giving anything away here. He's having like a little memory montagey flashback in his brain, like just kind of thinking things, and he's having like these flashbacks, and there's a flashback of Pa Kent, like you say that like in the cornfield, um, like out in the farm, holding him, running around the yard, and he's got his arms out, pretending he's flying like Superman, but as like a toddler. And I'm like, oh, like that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and like just like being a dad, like just in like him having that dad moment because again, just like the other movies, like his parents don't have a major role in this. Like again, we all know who Mom and Pa Kent are. We all know they live in Kent. You know what I mean? Like, let's get past that. Let's
Right.
talk about other shit. So like, yeah, they're in the movie, but it's not. They don't have like a whole
That's a
base
whole
around.
dialogue. Yeah.
So it was cool that they did that like moment, like where he was having a moment, and I'm like, no, I'm having a moment, like because
And now
again,
the
it's the way
theater's having a moment.
like it's how they ended the movie. So it was like just it was such a great way to end it. And
Right.
then there was two end credit scenes that really didn't, nowadays, these superhero movies and some other movies will do these end credit scenes now,
Yeah.
and it's always like a spoiler or a lead up to the next adventure. These ones were not like I don't know, like
Okay.
that. There's a moment with him and the dog. That was the first one, and then the second one. I got to say this one again. It's no spoiler because they didn't say much. So obviously, the city gets destroyed. Superman.
It's every Superman. Yeah.
So him and Mister Terrific, which is another great character they pulled into this movie. Again, no spoiler. He's in the trailer. Um, he they're standing there staring at this like almost like a library, like this older, very like uh, architectural looking building, and it's
Yeah.
got a giant fucking crack down the middle of it. And Superman looks at him and he goes, "What are we gonna do about that?" And he was like, "I don't fucking know. You're Superman." He was like, "Put it back together." He was like, "Well, can't you just like get one of your little sciencey toys things and you know do your thing?" And he goes, "The building is half over there and half over there. It's not gonna line up straight. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be crooked." And Superman was like, "Well, what the?" And then Mr. Terrific was like, "I can't stand you," and just walks away. And he's just Superman's still just staring at this building like, I don't know how. Like again, like everybody expects Superman to fix everything. So it was just again that kind of like, I can't fix this. I don't know what to do. Like
Right.
I'm not a mason guy. Like I can't.
Yeah. I
I'm not
don't do
pulling out the putty
masonry.
knife.
I'm just fucking Superman.
Like so that was the very last end credit. So uh if you don't want to stay for it, there you go. You didn't miss much. Like
Hey, look,
it,
there you go. See,
it,
and that was Big E's review of Superman.
it wasn't a nightmare.
It wasn't a nightmare. Maybe it was the nightmare experience for him to be at a theater, but he loves the theater, and then he loved the movie.
Unless he got a little woozy on the flight part like I did. Maybe that was the
He
nightmare.
might have been like, "That shit's a nightmare. Like this shit's
Yeah.
crazy."
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Again, just the way it was filmed, and then I did watch some like behind the scenes stuff like the next day or the 2 days later. Um, like I watched some other interviews with a lot of the actors and James Gunn and stuff. Like when they were doing like their media run, promotions, and yeah, just like how they talked about how they filmed it, and then I'm glad that I saw it first because then I was like, when they were talking about, oh well, we filmed this scene and we had to do this, and the cameras were here and da da da, and I'm like, oh, that's why I got woozy. Like, okay, I get it.
Right.
Like, it was really cool. So I already pre-bought my tickets. I got Fantastic Four on the docket next. So
Yeah, that's right here. It's,
yeah, it's today. If you're watching this now,
yeah.
I will see it on Tuesday. I become a Tuesday movie guy. So um, well,
So
hey,
we'll have a movie review of the Fantastic Four from Big E.
I want Xander's review first.
It's probably it's a nightmare.
Probably a nightmare.
It's probably a nightmare. And then you never know. I liked it. And was that it? That was it.
Will you
So
see it again? Yeah.
yeah, all right. Okay.
Yeah, that's another one that I'm intrigued because there's been so many iterations of it, and they've
Yeah,
all been
they have not been great.
horrible. So
We will see.
this one looks very promising. I'm very
Yeah.
intrigued with this one. So me and the wife will be seeing it on Tuesday. No kids this time. Which I asked Jane. I said, Jane, I'm pre-ordering Fantastic Four tickets. Are you and Gino going with us? And she was like, I don't think he's interested in that one. She was like, no, just hold off. We're good. Just you and mom can go. And I said, okay. So then when Gene was down the other night for dinner, we were sitting here. I was like, movies. We were talking about movies. I was like, yeah. I was like, we're gonna go see Fantastic Four. He's like, oh, are we going? And I was like, Jane told me not to buy tickets for you. She said that you weren't interested. He goes, what the fuck? Like, I was like, oh, I guess you were interested. And he was like, well, yeah, kinda. And I was like, sorry. I was like,
Well, that's it. You better talk to your girlfriend. Like that.
yeah. He told me no,
But
so I
yeah, it's
didn't.
like you have to give us a scoop on that one.
Yeah, next week or
Yeah.
well, we can do.
I was like, I don't know.
Next week's the big one.
Next week we might be pretty fucking busy. But we
So
got yeah,
we'll review it at some point. We'll give people some time to see it.
right. We got an all out banger next weekend. Like, man, crazy.
As
But
Seamus would say, banger after banger
banger
after
after
banger.
banger. I know. I can't believe it. We're here. It's like Bray Wyatt and Wyatt Six. We're here.
We're fucking here.
I know.
We
So
don't got belts like they do, but we're here.
no. I was like, but we have an agenda. I got some things still in the works, but you'll have to see. So usually I'd have a little outro and whatnot, but I've been playing while Eric was watching and telling us about Superman, and I'm just gonna pick one of these songs, and that's what we're gonna end it with. All right.
Okay.
So I don't know which one it is. It's one of these two. So we will see y'all in a week, 100th episode. Just hold on to your fucking pants and hold on to your butts, as Samuel L. Jackson said in fucking Jurassic Park, because it's gonna be fun. For Big E and myself, this has been the Show Thoughts Podcast. Like that shit. Subscribe to that shit. Comment on the shit. Tell your friends and family about it. All right, and we'll catch y'all next week for the 100th fucking episode of the podcast. Later.